Welcome to another Petersburg By Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised. This episode is a sneak peek behind the curtain. One that didn't quite make it to the stream or the recording, but that we still felt was important nonetheless. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy the following episode. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special bonus episode brought to you by a choices made last week. Tonight, here on Petersburg By Night, which is a massive multiplayer online TTRPG set in St. Petersburg and the Tampa Bay area, where we play in the world of darkness. We are going to be following a journey. Whether it will end tonight or keep going is yet to be seen. We will be following the journey of one Emory Gaines. As the cell in the museum received a particularly pointed letter from one Frankie DeLuca, Emory succumbed to her emotions a little bit, walked out, made a phone call to a contact, maybe potentially involved herself with another organization, and then walked out to get in her Uber rather than waiting for her sister, only to find a slightly familiar face behind the wheel. Emory, just as you start to lose consciousness, Teresa turns back and smiles at you and just says, "Boss wants to see you." You wake up. You're not sure how long it's been. Before she opens her eyes, what's possibly going through Emory's head right now?
She's a little worried. She's definitely been in situations where she's been in danger, but never wholeheartedly by a supernatural. So she's a little nervous, a little scared, knows that this is a survival moment.
Mm-hmm. I would like you to give me a wits and awareness roll, please. Now, I'm going to let you know, in this circumstance, Emory is currently at 3 desperation. And you are welcome to use those desperation dice as you see fit tonight.
Perfect. That's 3 successes on the wits awareness.
With 3 successes, as you slowly start to come to, the first thing you notice is the smell. Smells like bleach. Strong bleach. You shift. It appears you've almost been propped up in a cold corner. Your shoulders are quite cold and you can feel sort of under your rear. Your legs are almost numb. move a bit, you can feel restraints around your wrists and your forearms, and your legs. Not just at your ankles, but at your thighs and at your calves. Do you open your eyes?
I do.
There is a little bit of light in the room. You look down. I have a question. It is a slightly odd one. Has Emory ever frequented adult stores?
Probably.
Then had she ever pondered to the back sections of those stores, she would recognize a pair of bondage cuffs with the full leather mitts disabling her fingers, and in the same lines the leather straps around her forearms, her thighs, her calves and her ankles. You are unable to use your hands for anything. The room itself is cold, and you get a feeling why it smells like bleach. It's a cool room. It doesn't feel like the refrigeration unit is on, but there is a definitive, you can hear a fan running, and the air isn't stale. There's a chair in the other corner and a bucket in the corner opposite you. Do you do anything?
I'm sitting. Can I have the mobility to get up, or?
Give me a dex at athletics to attempt to stand.
Four successes.
So with 4 successes, you still have some of the sedative, whatever it was, running through your body. You can pull yourself up to your knees, but any further than that, and it's like your head's dizzy and you've almost got to shake it off. It's like moving almost pulses the sedative back through your body again.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself slightly disoriented from that. As you get up, you hear a knock, 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 like a thunk, thunk, thunk on the outside of the door. And a male voice yells out, "Morning, sleepyhead. Make sure you're the fuck away from the door." The voice is vaguely familiar. As the door opens, light sort of streams in. Bobby, the aggressive asshole from the warehouse, opens the door, walks on in. "Oh, look at you! Aren't you looking so brave?" And he walks over and just stands over Emory. "Sit down."
Okay, I will do that.
So you're gonna sit?
Yeah.
He's gonna look at you. "Good to see you guys finally learned how to fucking listen. Nice." And he's gonna hold his hand out, and he's got 2 pills in his hand. "Breakfast time. Open up."
No thanks.
Wasn't a question. Open up.
Nope.
He is going to raise his hand and he's going to go, "Last fucking chance."
Nope.
Crack across your face.
Okay.
grabs your face, squeezes your cheeks.
I spit it out.
They dissolve.
Boom.
They're dissolvables. You can still attempt to spit it out. I will give you it'll be essentially a dex and athletics again. Or dex and resolve, actually. To resist it. Because you've got to try and spit out a quickly dissolving tablet.
Five successes.
You managed to spit it out with 5. He goes, okay, we're going to play that game. And out of his back pocket, he pulls out a syringe and a needle. And he goes, the boss wants you calm and compliant. So if you want to eat today, sit the fuck down and do as you're fucking told. And next minute, there is a prick in your leg. I am going to allow you to give me a stamina resolve to stay awake, though. Because the sedative is not designed to knock you out, but it's designed to keep you still.
Am I allowed to use my desperation on this with my...
Yes, you are allowed to use desperation through this. However, I need to know if you get a 1 or a 10 on those dice.
Understood. Okay. As this plays out, Frankie gets a wonderful show through the small camera in the top corner. I have 8 with a crit. I can take a picture if you want.
Yep, photos of crits, please. You are able, through your military training, to maintain some cognizant thought as your muscles relax and you feel yourself still unable to get back up. You know you're physically immobilized, but you still have some wits about you.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my phone's being weird.
That's fine.
Okay.
Couple of hours pass by. It's still cold. You can't tell if it's day or night in here. What would be going through Emory's thought processes while she's stuck here?
She would probably just be assessing the room, the area. Anytime the door opens, she's trying to get a peek at least as to what's there, where she might recognize where she may be.
Mm-hmm. So, over the course of the next few hours, bladder slowly filling, mouth dry, stuck in a corner, you get very comfortable and familiar with the walls that you can see. After a couple of hours, the door opens again. And in comes Teresa, the same person who was behind the wheel. And she sort of looks at you like, oh, he smacked you up, did he, love? Alright, you don't want to talk to me. I don't blame you. You know, I really don't blame you in the slightest. I'd very much blame me. I do appreciate how easily you got into the car. It made my job so much easier. You hungry? Thirsty? Need to use that? She sort of head nods towards the bucket. Alright. You sure? And she's got an ice cold bottle of water in front of you. Well, can't say I didn't offer. No, someone will be back in a couple of hours. Just waiting on the boss, you know. He likes to give you a bit of time to think. Yeah? This sort of repeats over the next couple of days. The first 2 days is between Bobby and Teresa. Same deal. If you refuse the pills, an injection is applied. Teresa would, after about 24 hours, come in and lift you up, put you over the bucket, if you would accept it, to relieve yourself. Would you do anything when she tried to do that? Nope. So you're just gonna...
Nope.
Just gonna sit through it. At any point, do you assess where your body's at or if you have any of your items on you?
I would, probably when I was alone or knew like whatever rotation they're doing, that I had some time.
Mm-hmm. You know the things that are always on you. You can't feel your wallet in your pocket. It's a pretty good assumption your phone's gone. There's something else missing. Your dog tags have been removed from your body. Third day rolls around. And instead of Teresa or Bobby, it's Sarah. And she walks in and goes, "And you hold up well? How you going? Not good? You hungry? Water? You need water." And she's gonna hold a bottle of water up to your lips whether you like it or not and get some in your mouth. It's like, you need a drink. I can't have you dying, the boss won't like that. She's gonna sit down against the wall and just slide down out of reach, being very mindful. She's aware of, you know, she's not silly. She's going to sit there and go, look, sort of stare over at you. Sometimes you stick your nose where it's not belonging. And you bite off more than you can chew. Miss Gaines. It hurts, doesn't it? You can talk, you know that, right? You're really not going to talk to me? Maybe I was wrong about you guys. Nick seemed decent. He offered to help me get out of here. Gave me a number I can call. Fuck, you are heartless. Whatever happens, alright? If you're lucky enough to get out of here, can you let Nick know that Sarah might need a hand? I can't call him. At you shaking your head, her face drops. She almost looks like she's gonna cry. He was my only way out. Well, fuck you, I guess. And she stands up, walks out, closes the door. What appears to be, I don't know, is it 20 minutes? Is it 4 hours? Is it 10 hours? There's no sunlight. There's no way to tell. How's Emory keeping her mind busy for these couple of days of nothing but a fan noise?
She is probably doing military assessment tactics, going over how the planning of Frankie's place would have gone through, any plans that may have, faltered, making sure to like assess that properly, as well as probably doing some counting, assessing the tiles or whatever are in the room, differences in the room, trying to keep her mind as agile as she could.
Yeah. Over the course of these couple of days, every 12, or at least twice a day, from what you can gather, the same sedative is applied. After the fifth, sixth time, someone else walks in. Frankie, can you please describe what Emory would see as you enter the cool room?
So Frankie comes in one hand, he has a fishing pole, and on the other hand, he's carrying a string which probably has a two grouper and a red snapper on it. He just kind of walks in the room, not really even acknowledging Emory at all. He goes over to the corner and strings it up on one of the hooks in the corner and sets his fishing rod down against the wall and grabs the chair and turns it around and then finally turns and looks right at Emory and smiles. Ms. Gaines, I hope we've been keeping you comfortable.
Yeah, fairly comfortable for what it's worth.
For what it's worth. Indeed. Well, I am glad that the accommodations have met your standards. He'll sit down in the chair and scoot up a little bit closer, probably about 4 feet away from her. I didn't think that we'd be meeting again under these circumstances, but it seems that I wasn't the only one out of my friends that enjoys a little bit of fishing these days. But I'm glad that we caught something valuable. How have you been? I was worried about you.
I've been all right.
Just all right. That's it.
Yeah, I'll be honest in saying that you shook us up pretty bad.
Eh, I think that the response on the news and some of the stuff that was wilding around the internet, I think that I spooked you a little bit more than you're saying.
Well, that was not me, unfortunately.
You ruined those kids' field trip. You realize that, right?
You may see it that way, I don't.
Alright. Trips are a sore subject. Nonetheless, I don't think that I should be wasting any of your time, and despite this pleasant distraction, I don't like wasting my own time. So, let's just get down to brass tacks, shall we? Why are you and your friends bothering little old me?
Because we were tasked by a higher organization to look into you.
An organization? Is this an alphabet organization?
The Arcanum.
Well, that's a new word for me. So somebody hired you to come after me. What, to remove me from the board? To what?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. They indicated that you had abilities and powers that they were unsure about, and even we were unsure that you were even a supernatural at first, being that you walk in the day.
Well, you cut right through the cake now, don't you? I appreciate that. Good Lord, I thought this conversation was going to be so much more evasive and so much more interesting. But you don't know who it was, other than just this name, the Arcanum.
Pretty much. I know the name of the person who gave us the order, but I'm pretty sure the order came from someone higher than them.
Were they gonna pay you?
Yeah, not very handsomely, but they were going to pay us.
Now I'm going to need a manipulation subterfuge from you, please, because that's bullshit.
I mean, in Emory's eyes, that wasn't a lot of money.
Manipulation subterfuge.
Let me just roll this one die. It's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you and me have a drastic difference in what a lot of money is. So why don't you give me an exact number?
All right. I personally don't remember the number, but Emory would say whatever number it was.
$500,000.
$500,000 for little old me. That's quite a catch.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you plan on doing it? Now I'm just
We were
interested.
Sure. We were gonna infiltrate your position after doing our little stakeout, of which you clearly spotted us in, finding entrances, exits, things like that, and see who we needed to take down, see if we could obtain anybody for proof, and then hopefully kill you.
Hopefully is a strong word.
Yeah.
You just
I know one of our members wanted to capture you and test you, but
so this is what you guys do. You'll just kill us for hire, huh?
no, not particularly.
Well then, why take the job to kill somebody?
Good money, good research on individuals like you, learning the basis of how the supernatural types work.
So kill us for hire. I mean, what is the point of the research otherwise is to further the first sentence you spoke to me and not the last sentence you spoke to me? It's people typically lead with the things they want and follow up with just amplifying information.
Fair enough. I personally don't care if you live or die, let's be honest with that. However, the research would indicate that we would need you alive.
And so, me just existing as a lab rat or a test subject or a target practice, you think this is a favorable outcome for any other living person or sentient being out here? This is easy work for you? Your conscience doesn't weigh at anything on this.
Not against the supernaturals.
That's a subjective word. He's gonna take out a coin from his pocket and start rolling around in his knuckles. So, this is just what you dedicate your life to, just people like me. Finding us, wiping us out, killing us?
Not necessarily. We tend to sway more towards people of threat. Granted, you were a cash grab in this instance, but our previous incidences with your kind, I believe, I'm not really sure what you are again, have been people who have threatened, people who have killed people like us, and so I wouldn't say retaliated, but we found justice for those that they killed.
And you just figured that you would plaster that right on top of me, even though I had not done anything directly to you?
To be fair, your rap sheet is pretty bad.
There's a lot of rap sheets out there, that's hardly cause. So we'll circle back to kill us for hire again. All right, well, this has been an enlightening conversation.
Do you have any information that perceives you as a good doobie?
Under what in all of creation, do you think I need to justify a damn thing to you? You are a thief, a self-professed murderer. I don't understand why we're comparing rap sheets here. Are you trying to say that you're on my level?
No, not at all. Clearly, you have the higher ground in this situation. I'm trying to find some modicum of understanding as to why you think you're human.
Why do you think you're human?
Because that's what I am.
Because you say you are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, there's your answer.
Yes, but I have proof, and I didn't give up my life to be something else for a modicum of. What did you get? Great power, responsibility.
He's gonna lean down on his knees. What makes you think we had a choice?
I don't know. Maybe if you told me.
And what makes you think I owe you an answer?
Because we can stop the charade and move forward.
Charade's a funny word in this scenario. We typically use a different word, but fair, we'll go along with it. So you think that there is some exuberantly large group of supernatural creatures moseying around out here in this world, and you're going to walk out there and pick a fight with them?
I don't know how many are out here.
Well, I can guarantee you, Southern Florida is not the cornerstone of everything you think it is.
Okay.
But there are forces out here you will never be able to compete with.
Emory,
Mm-hmm.
I want an intelligence insight from you, please. As his words of forces out there that you will never compete with start to get your brain thinking about things you might have seen in the past.
Okay. I am going to use my desperation for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Four successes.
And then I need a composure resolve roll out of you. No desperation or willpower can be used on the composure resolve roll. At 4 successes, precise details don't enter your mind. But there is a memory of being in the bedroom that you and Ella shared as children and listening to your parents fight. Listening to your father scream at your mother. There are things out there you don't understand. What are you doing? And her screaming back, you don't fucking get it. I need to know. More yelling, screaming. And the next morning, your mother was gone. And you girls never saw her again. That was when your father shifted. He went from happy, chill, to almost twisted, bitter, very upset.
That is 7 with a crit.
You are able to keep your composure, but there is an undercurrent of fear. Frankie's words hit pretty deep. Please, continue.
So you think I'm a monster?
Yes.
You take money to kill people, and you think I'm a monster. Do you even know if I've even killed anybody in my life?
Storyteller, did the rap sheet have anything about death?
Supplier of drugs where there were overdoses that occurred, but no direct manslaughter or murder.
Right.
Suspicions, but nothing confirmed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have.
But I'm a monster.
Yes.
You seem to have a real flimsy definition of what a monster is. You were a soldier, weren't you?
Sure was.
You've killed? Aside from
Yes.
you think I am. Because you were told to.
Yeah.
Do you think the families of those people you killed think you're a monster?
Probably.
So that makes you an authority.
No.
But you still think I'm one.
Yes.
Black and white as a soldier always, huh?
It's hard to shake.
It's so easy just to exist in that one or the other area. But the world is not like that. The world is full of so much more gray. Well, I'd make an offer to you, but I don't think you would even dream of entertaining that offer. But maybe a few more days in this cooler might change your opinion. You've got the military training for it. You could take it.
That's fair. You could also just ask me and see what I would say.
If I was capable of leading you to other people that you could exercise your exceptional talents into,
I'm listening.
it would be getting in bed with the devil, as you so think. And don't think for a minute I don't think that you would take this offer and then just turn right back around and betray the shit out of me. But your social security number is on those dog tags. And with that number, I can find a hell of a lot of things. You know I can get to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know I can get to your friends. Just think of what else I can get to. If you want to see me be a monster, I could do that. I've been cordial up until this point, pleasant even under the circumstances of my life and my property being threatened. But I don't have to maintain that. So what do you think?
May you indulge me in a couple of questions?
I've been asking most of them this evening. That's exceptionally rude of me. Why don't you go ahead and ask some questions of me?
These other individuals you were speaking of, are they similar to you, different?
We're all a little bit different in our own personal ways. But I know some people that might tickle your fancy. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. I am, in all honesty, interested in your proposition. Is this a territory issue, or you just genuinely feel like these people need to be taken care of?
Oh, you're a veteran. You understand that certain people like you and certain people like me, we exist between the cracks of society. I don't get territory. I don't get a piece of the pie. We have to feed off the scraps that the government and society leaves for us on the floor. I'm just tired of feeding on scraps.
Okay. I will accept your request.
That does not mean I'm letting you out of here today. You do understand that, correct?
I'm very aware. I've been in this kind of a situation before. I understand.
With those particular constraints? Oh, we do have something interesting to talk about at some point now, don't we? Well, I think for this conversation, I'm going to arrange for my friends to get you an actual meal. You drink beer?
I do.
Just make sure you let Teresa know what your favorite kind is, and we'll see what we can rustle up. Any other requests?
No, I do appreciate you answering my questions, though. I know I'm not in the particular position to be doing that.
Well, Mom always told me that if you're going to entertain company, you entertain them the best you can. So anything you need, you just let them know.
Thank you.
He'll stand up and go over and grab his fish and his fishing rod, and he'll turn back one more time, and look. You do know that I know you're going to betray me, right?
Well, it's still up in the air for me right now.
You go ahead and kid yourself, but you will. I know you will. And he'll head out.
So, having made a deal with the devil, are you going to, over the course of the next couple of days, attempt to escape at all, Emory, or will you sit tight to your fate and see what happens?
Could I make an academics roll to see how plausible it would be to escape?
Intelligence academics using your military science, yes. I will allow you to use that specialty.
Can I use my desperation?
100% on this. Whilst normally marshals would not have this opportunity, 100% you can.
I got a 10 on one of the desperations, by the way. I'm counting now.
Okay.
Uh, 10 with 2 crits, 1 on the desperation.
So on what you don't know, but is actually the 6th day, Teresa may be encouraging you to have a bit of a conversation about boxing. You know, they've bought you in a small table, somewhere to eat your meals off, and they pick you up and sit you up there, and they will feed you because they're not going to take those restraints off you. They're not stupid. Frankie wouldn't let them do that. But the previous sedation, you must have just managed to move out of the way. And instead of injecting directly into the muscle, it injected essentially into the side of your pants. So you now have full control of your body once again. You're smart enough to know not to display that. So you are restrained. Teresa's probably left the door slightly ajar while she's gone out to get you another beer. Frankie said to take care of you. What are you doing?
Is there any way I can grab a modicum of my things? Specifically my wallet, at least.
Frankie has all of that.
Okay, then I'll just leave.
So you, over the last 6 days, the leather has loosened. You've been able to sort of wear away at it, so you do have some movement. You come out of the call room, down a hallway. You can go left or right.
Right.
You turn right, straight towards an exit door. Push the exit door open. By now, with the movement, you probably could have gotten your ankles free. You don't have shoes on. You are still dressed. You never had that taken away from you. Without your wallet, without your tags, without your phone, you find yourself in the car park of a bait and fish market. Still restrained by the hands with essentially mitts, leather mitts on. What are you going to do? A few cars there.
No, I don't have the ability to do that. I am going to probably just try and orient myself to where I am and go home.
Takes a while. Takes an even longer while to sort of work the leather to the point you can remove the restraints. Because you can, now you're out of there and you're no longer sedated, slowly work those leather restraints off your body. Your feet ache. They hurt. A few times where you've got to sort of duck behind a bush or two because you think you might see someone coming. But unfortunately, Frankie, you have her wallet. You have her details. But she got away the day before your meeting. That 10 with a crit, a double crit, you can't. So, thank you for tonight. Go and check these two amazing people out on socials, or come check us out on Petersburg By Night. Pat also shows his amazing face on a few other places around the server. Go and check them out as well. Go and have a look at us on YouTube. Now we have podcasts. But thank you again. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Emory eventually rejoins the cell. And whether they do meet with Frankie at the arcade or not. Thank you, everybody, and good night.